Well, welcome to the latest episode of the Red and White Show. Joining me for this one, Rovers defender James Brown and Club Doncaster media manager Liam Hoden. James, first of all, welcome to the show. How have you found the last few weeks in getting settled, really, as a Rovers player?
Cheers, thanks for having me. Really enjoyed it. Settled in really quickly. The lads were great to me, staff were great to me, so I settled in really quickly, and we've been playing good football, we've been playing well, a bit inconsistent obviously, but I've been enjoying it so far, and I think we have a really good chance this year of making playoffs. You're
playing regularly, pretty much every game since you arrived. That's exactly what you were looking for, wasn't it, when you're sort of picking your next move in January?
Yeah, exactly. I kind of had to choose correctly. I probably jumped into my last one. The style of football was a big thing as well. Met the staff before I came down and got good vibes. So it's a lovely place to play here as well. Good fans. So it ticked a lot of boxes, yeah.
Liam, I think we touched on in the last show, didn't we, James's introduction and how he sort of gone about his business without a lot of fuss, really, and settled in really well.
Yeah, I think as we said then, it's having somebody who were ready to go. It's a massive plus point, and someone who really does fit in with what Danny Schofield wants to do. We've seen James getting forward and how dangerous he can be and delivering the crosses into the box as well. So yeah, it's been a fantastic addition.
James, it was something of a swap deal in a roundabout type of way, wasn't it? You were at Stockport the first half of the campaign, went back to Blackburn and then arrived at Rovers. Kyle Noyle, who was Rovers wing-back the first half of the campaign, ends up at Edgeley Park. So I suppose you had to be ready to come in and play straight away, didn't you, given there was a vacancy on that right side? Yeah,
it's football's revolving door, it's mad. It's funny how it happened, but I went back to Blackburn and I kept myself fit. I played, I think, 2 or 3 23s games in the space of a week or 2 weeks. And just keep myself sharp. So I came in here and then the opportunity was to play. I took my chance really when I got it. So I'm delighted now. I just have to keep playing well and try to keep myself in the team.
Having had a fair bit of first team football in the first half of the campaign, to then go back to Blackburn and have those 23s fixtures, did it feel like a bit of a come down, with all due respect to that, because you'd had so much experience of playing for 3 points week in, week out? You must have been itching to get back into that routine. Yeah,
it was. You're playing in front of big crowds and then you're playing in front of not many people, but you kind of have to be professional, and that's your job really. I knew I was going to go straight back out on loan somewhere, so I was kind of just getting my head down for myself really. I could have sulked and moaned about it, but I just wanted to keep myself as sharp as possible because I knew something would come up soon. It was it was just part and parcel really.
And you moved locally as well. You're in Doncaster, really embracing the environment you're in, even as a lone player.
I just thought it'd be best, moving as close as I can to the training ground and the stadium and stuff, just for recovery and that. I'm enjoying it. There's nice people around here as well, so I'm enjoying it.
Let's move across the dressing room for a little while in the latest quickfire round with Adi Barlow up next.
Aidan Barlow, 22 years old. I was born in Salford. Growing up, played for a local team around my way called Moorside Rangers. My dad was the coach. Man United. I'd say my goal for England in the Euros, my debut, came on against Ukraine, and Colin Hudson-Odoi pulled it back for me and I just whipped it from the right corner of the box to the top left corner. Wayne Rooney. I'd say Kevin De Bruyne. I think just the positions he gets in and the creativity and the power and the counter-attacking, stuff like that. Angel Gomez. I like Wagamama. Wagamama's nice. Let's go for the Chinese here. I'll say Baker. I just started playing golf, but because I've just started, I'll say darts. Love Island. To be fair, we don't actually listen to music in the car, we listen to Talk Sport. In all 3 cars, we listen to Talk Sport every morning. I don't really watch films, I watch series. I'm watching The Last of Us at the minute, which is pretty good. My life? Yeah. I'd say Tom Cruise. Dubai. A manager. To be happy. To have no stresses in life.
Anything else you're sort of into?
Just football. I'd probably take Joel's pace. Even though he probably looks a lot faster than me, but he's not much faster than me, but I'd take his pace.
Liam Adie's had to bide his time on the pitch, hasn't he, recently? Since Danny Schofield's come in, though, we've seen a fair few cameos from him where he's been sent on with a job to do, whether that's sort of wide left or more recently as a central midfielder. What have you made to the job he's done in those situations?
I think he's done really well. You know, it's been very difficult for him. He's not had a massive amount of football. Injuries played a part in that as well. And as you say, he's had to bide his time for his opportunities. But all you can ask for a player when they're on that bench is if they get that opportunity to come on and make a bit of an impact, to do the job that you've asked them to do. And I think in the main, Adie's done that really, really well.
He is highly rated, isn't he, among the players that play with him? And James Coppinger in particular, when he was handed his new deal in the summer, James spoke really openly about his footballing intelligence and that being the key to him getting the best out of himself. Yeah,
you can certainly see that he's come through that system that he's come through at Manchester United. You know, you don't really thrive and survive in that without that football intelligence that Adie's got. And I think he fits in a lot with the kind of general philosophy of the club at the minute in terms of developing players. You know, we brought in a head coach that's one of his main attributes, that he develops players. Adie's in that stage where he just needs that little bit more development in terms of establishing himself at senior level and playing a number of games. And he seems to be, with the time that he's got at the minute, he's doing well.
Now, the addition of Charlie Lakin into the Rovers midfield recently has been a real positive one. He's excited about what the business end of the season may bring. Charlie, you've had a good few weeks in the building now, plenty of football under your belt. Just how are you finding it here at Rovers?
No, I'm absolutely loving it. Since I've come in, felt very welcomed by players, staff, everyone around the place. And obviously to play a lot of minutes is what I aim to do, and obviously help the team out as much as possible. And now I've really enjoyed it, found my feet, and hopefully can keep pushing forward.
Were you expecting to play quite as much as soon as you did? Obviously Big O got that little injury, didn't he, and that opened the door for you to play regularly.
Yeah, no, I mean, I was just literally coming in and hopefully I was ready whenever to get minutes. Hopefully it was sooner rather than later, which was fortunate enough for me. But no, I mean, I weren't aiming on a certain game, certain time to be playing. It just happened as it happened, and like I say, I found my feet, and hopefully I've been doing well, and hopefully everyone's been seeing that, and hopefully I can keep pushing forward and doing that.
How motivated were you though to take your chance once it came along?
No, definitely. I mean, not playing very much football this season, I was ready for that opportunity, and I wanted to grab it with both hands when it came, and I felt like I've done that, and like I say, hopefully I can keep doing that.
You settled in fairly seamlessly alongside Closey in midfield. What is it about that partnership that seems to work so well, do you feel?
No, definitely. I feel like we have formed a good partnership. I think we just both understand each other. We're both footballing players. We both want the ball, which is the main thing in football. We trust each other, and it's just good playing alongside someone that you know you can rely on. And I hope he feels that way about me. I mean, if he's not in a certain position, I'll cover for him, and vice versa. But no, yeah, it's been really well. I've been enjoying it.
You played in a bit more of an advanced role against Bradford. The energy that you've got allows you to then press even higher, doesn't it? Did you enjoy that? A bit more of a free role to go and play?
No, definitely. I mean, I've played in that position before, so I'm used to it again. But no, definitely, like, I want to be attacking. I want to create and score goals, hopefully, and get as many as I can. So no, being that further forward, I don't mind it. I love, like I say, I enjoy it as well. So like I say, using my energy, which is got to put it to use somewhere. So yeah, definitely getting up as high as a pitch, and like I say, trying to get goals and assists. That's the main thing.
Now Big O's back fit as well. Everybody's got to be flexible and be able to, whether it's play deeper or play further forward. Danny clearly wanted all three of you in for a specific reason against Bradford, and you imagine that might be the case a few more times before the end of the season.
No, definitely. I mean, and obviously that's the gaffer's choice. But no, I mean, I'm flexible playing anywhere. Further forward, deeper, wherever it may be. If I'm playing, I'll give 110% no matter what. So no, I mean, I'm quite capable of doing that. So yeah, it'll be good going forward.
Back-to-back home games against Harrogate and Wimbledon coming up. Just how crucial could a period like that be? You know, League Two's fairly similar, isn't it? A lot of the teams can win 3, lose 2. Just how Rovers have done in recent weeks. If you can again again, string a couple of results together, we've seen in recent weeks how it can fire you up the table.
No, definitely. I mean, it's two massive, like I say, home games to have the crowd behind us and hopefully just get back on that running streak again. Like you say, put consecutive wins back together and climb that table again, because like you just said, if you win 2 or 3 on the bounce, like you say, this league it's mental. So if you win 2 or 3, you can climb back in that table. And like we say, the main aim for us this season is to get playoffs. So we need to start doing that. And like I say, it's 2 big games coming up, and like I say, it's home games, which is even more of an advantage for us. So yeah, it's definitely massive.
So James, Charlie, another one of the January editions, he was sort of thrown in a little bit like yourself. Once Big O got injured, he got a run of starts. What have you made to the job he's done in midfield?
Yeah, he's been doing very well. I think he's a key player now, as you can see in the last few games. When he first came in training, I think he came in the same week as I did, and straight away you knew he was a player. So yeah, look, he's been massive for us, and you know, especially as League One experience, so he knows what it takes to play at that level. So yeah, he's been really good, and he's a creative player, so I think that can help us going forward.
Liam, he's got a lot of energy, hasn't he? Similar attributes to Big O, really, the way he's on the front foot, pressing, wants to play high, and it sort of made losing Big O a little bit easier to take, didn't it? He only missed a couple of games in the end, but at the time when he's injured, you're panicking, thinking he's been such an important player, but Charlie more than filled that gap. Yeah,
and credit to Charlie for doing that. You know, I think we'd seen in a cameo or 2 off the bench what he was all about, but yeah, it certainly made that easier, and the performances he put in during that time that Big O out were really, really good. I think you could have been forgiven for thinking that he were a bit of a backup signing, you know, in case anything happened to Closey or Big O. But we've seen since Big O's returned, Charlie's kept his place in the team and fully justified in doing that.
Does it show just how good a player Ben Close is as well, Brownie? How easy Charlie found it to settle into that midfield, and it was a seamless transition. Yeah,
it's right foot, left foot, isn't it, midfield, so they work off each other very well. They're very similar players, and yeah, I think that helps as well. It's like anyone really in the team, like, you know, when you're playing around good players, you can play better yourself. So yeah, they've proven that they can do it together in the middle, and they've been doing really well lately, as you can see.
Charlie spoke about in that interview the energy he brings, and he played higher against Bradford, didn't he? And if you can fit all of those 3 in the same team, you've certainly got a high energy front foot side about you.
You have, and you can obviously add George Miller to that as well. He certainly sets the tone from the front in terms of his hard work and the energy that he brings, and that's exactly what Danny Schofield wants. You know, in terms of pressing hard and forcing opposition teams into mistakes, and Charlie can certainly do that.
Now the Rovers squad headed all Rover Doncaster for the 3rd time last week. Here are some highlights of the day.
Yeah, it's a way that we can actually engage with the community, actually see people face to face. You can do all you want on social media, but seeing people's faces, talking to them, hopefully making a difference. That's what it's all about. Hopefully fans, maybe players of the future.
Clearly, it's unique opportunities that you wouldn't get on a day-to-day basis. So how often, you know, I played football myself as a kid and never got near having a professional footballer come and do a coaching session. So no, absolutely amazing, once in a lifetime opportunities. And again, if it just brings kids and families and the community a little bit closer to the club, that can only be a good thing. pick a few days each season where we try and get out to as many areas of the community as possible. We promote the matches that are coming forward, so this one is all about the Wimbledon game that we've got in a couple of weeks' time, but we engage with the community. It's all about developing fans for the future, connecting with our core audience across Doncaster, getting people involved, and hopefully getting them behind the team on Saturday next time we have a match.
I mean, Sean and the team can talk about numbers, season ticket numbers, but we know that this will boost the crowds and hopefully, more importantly, just bring us closer. They'll get to meet players, they'll understand players, hopefully they'll want to be players.
It's something we're known for, not just in Doncaster, but throughout the Football League. We've been highlighted as best practice, year on year now for the stuff that we do with families. So really important we do that in terms of engaging from a community perspective. We reach out so many places, and again, it's had commercial wins in the past. We've had organisations that have been part of this, want to just invite advertising the programme, and now at silver level sponsorship and looking to take rooms at the stadium. So it works commercially as well.
Liam, it's so good to see the lads in the community. We see it all the time, don't we? Individuals heading out to here, there and everywhere, but not very often throughout the campaign you can manage to get the full squad out. We've done that twice this season and once last, and it's clearly having an impact on the local area.
It certainly is, and we both went out as well in terms of going with the players on some of these visits, big and small. You go to companies and take a couple of players, or you take a few players down to a junior football event, and like dozens and dozens of kids at those, all really excited to see a professional footballer coming and watching them train, and nice to see plenty of Rovers kits down there as well, for that occasion. But no, it's a fantastic event, and you can see the impact. There's a real positive impact that it does have on the community.
Nice for you as well, James, to get out there. As we said earlier, you've not been at Rovers for too long, but sort of get about the place and see what's happening in the area.
Yeah, exactly. As I said, there's lovely people around here, so it's nice to see the work that goes on outside of football. And yeah, as you said, like kids seeing professional footballers, you see the smile on their face and stuff like that as well. I think we're superstars. So it's good to see the working community, really.
You went to visit home instead, a bronze partner of the club alongside Ollie and Luke. What was that like for you in figuring out what they do?
Yeah, it was very interesting. Half of the things you'd never even think of to do. So yeah, it was interesting. Me, Luke and Ollie, we're all kind of the same boat. We're a bit shocked with some of the equipment they had, but yeah, well, no, it was good. It was interesting.
And Liam, we've seen so many sort of young football teams with businesses and schools jump at the chance, haven't we, to get the players out there in the community. And it is a two-way thing, isn't it?
Yeah, everybody really wants that visit, whether it's going and seeing staff at a company, that bit of a boost. You went down to the little distribution centre, I was at the little supermarket, and staff very eager to get involved, get the picture taken with the players. And then obviously schools and that we talked about the young kids at schools and junior football teams, absolutely love it. It's a great day overall.
We'll move on to Harrogate on Tuesday night, and before that we'll touch on Lidl as well. Obviously a fair bit more went on than just the visit. Tom Anderson there signing his new contract. He's been followed by Kyle Hurst in doing just that. How big is that for the football club, do you feel?
It's massive. The such a central figure is Tom Anderson, captain. And I think you've seen the reaction from the lads as well to him signing, whether that's down at the training ground or on social media. They recognise how significant it is that Tom Anderson's committed his future to the club. A really big piece of the puzzle. You need that leadership in the squad. And Kyle Hurst, I think for me, it's an exciting young player, and it's fantastic to see him being tied down in the long term recognition. While he's still got plenty of his original contract left to run. I think it shows that change in direction, that change in approach that James Coppinger's tried to put in place since he's taken on the head of football operations role, and it can only be good for the club. Kyle continues his development here and hopefully has success on the pitch with Doncaster Rovers, and if he continues his development as he's shown so far, he's a major asset for the club going forward as well.
James, back-to-back home games to come then, Harrogate the first of the two, and 6 games really in the month of March, where it could be a season-defining month, couldn't it, when you look at Rovers' position in the table? Yeah,
we were just chatting there before we came on here, and it was just the table's so tight. It just changes, chapter changes every week. A lot of midweek games coming up as well, so it can change just as quick, So I think the home games is crucial. I think we played something away where we were probably the better team, but if we had them at home, I think we would have got the win there. Conditions obviously didn't help, so look, we just need to start picking points up again, and anything's possible really.
I think it was 4 wins from 5 at home going into that Bradford game, so it shows, doesn't it, how important the home form is. And when you've got back-to-back games here in the space of a week, you need to be taking as many points as possible. Yeah,
100%. And we're confident in doing that. Every game we go into here, we're confident. It's just a matter of doing it then, really. But look, we got the fans behind us for the run that we were on. I think they were enjoying it as well, so that's a big factor. Let's see what we can do.
Liam, this fixture should have been played at middle of December, shouldn't it? It was postponed. The cold snap got in the way of that one. Harrogate still struggling, aren't they, really? A couple of points above the relegation zone and haven't really been able to get much rhythm all season.
No, we know how well they've done since winning promotion. We know how well they did in winning promotion in the first place, and they're punched above the weight for quite a while now. It perhaps inevitable, given the size of the club, that at some point it would catch up with them and become a little bit more embroiled in a bit of a relegation scrap as they are this season. But yeah, we know it'll be a tough game. We've seen throughout this season how difficult every single game is. It's so competitive, this division, and I think it's one of the main reasons for how congested that mid-table is that competition. It's not just the competition at the top, in the top half, it's throughout the division itself. Anybody can beat anybody.
Yeah, at this stage of the season, Brownie, every team is fighting for something, and no more so than this season in League Two, where it seems that whether you're 14th or you're 9th, there's teams who think they can get in the playoffs from a low position, and likewise, people in maybe 15th, 16th will still be looking over the shoulder, thinking they don't want to get dragged into a relegation battle.
Yeah, everyone has something to play for. It's crazy, and I think as the season goes on, the flip side of that, if a team hasn't got anything to play for, that's when they're most dangerous, probably because they're most comfortable. So it's just crazy. So it's so tight. There's teams that are probably aiming for the top 3 that are around us. We could even aim for the top 3 if we got a few wins together. So it's just teams like Harrogate fighting for their lives as well. Every game is a massive game, and every game is really a 6-pointer for everyone really now.
Without pushing you for a score prediction, Brownie, Liam, how do you see this one going on Tuesday?
I don't think it'll be easy, but I do think that Rovers will get a win in this one, and I'm going to say 2-0.
Brownie, Liam, thank you for your company. Thank you at home for watching on as well. We'll see you down here on Tuesday night for another Yorkshire derby against Harrogate Town.